So when it comes to fit, what do you really mean by that? Because I can see that your networks are so vast worldwide, for instance, that you could take about any company and make it better. But that thing about fit kept coming up in the conversation. So can you explain a little bit about the kinds of companies you're really wanting to help?
One of the things that we realized when we started talking to companies is that a lot of what we do and how we do it applies to a lot of different industries, a lot of different types of companies. I think if you think about what really gets us excited is we like B2B areas. It's an area we spent a large part of our career in. We like companies that have something really differentiating, proprietary that we can help them build on. Those are probably the kind of let me call it one set of conditions that the companies really, they want to engage with us. I think we'll talk more about that, but we have a model where we want to get deep in. We want to really help. We don't want to just kind of pop in for a day every quarter or something. We want to be engaged. So the companies have to be willing to kind of really work in that model. That's probably one of the most important fits for us. And ultimately, we want to really make sure that we can, in fact, contribute. Like, it's really important for us to really believe that in this particular company, in this particular engagement, we're able to really add value, that we're just not kind of hanging around and chatting with the executive team, that we actually can really see some difference in what we're doing. I think that's kind of how the three of us are built. We like to really make sure that our individual contributions are really working.
Definitely, I think we want to focus not too far from our expertise. So like Mike said, we're focused on B2B. We talk to a lot of companies. Oftentimes, they're really good at the technology and defining what products do. They often struggle with the go-to-market and how to position the product, how to message the product out to the market, and then, the right go-to-market strategies. And that's really where we put our focus on. So we sit with companies and kind of better understand what they do and then help them kind of map that to the right go-to-market. And, how do they get to that next level is really where we're focused.
I think it's clients that meet all those criteria, but they see this special sauce in the three of us in a level of collaboration. The model tends to be over at least a year's time, so it's kind of a long-term arrangement. And one of each of us is prime on an account, so they're probably face of us for the client from an advisory standpoint, but it's really you got to buy into kind of the magic of the three of us helping a CEO, a CXO team take the company on. We're finding there's a lot of demand for that, which is really gratifying for the three of us.
And the other thing is that synergistically, I would love to have had a team like yours at Simple Signal, because it would have mattered to me early on in so many places we made mistakes that you could say, hey, go left here, don't go right, that kind of thing. That I think that your experience applied to this creates a synergistic values like 1 + 1 = 11. So I think you play part coach, part motivator, part wizard, and the rest kind of goes along with that. So it sounds like an amazing team that you guys have gathered up to go and change a business, and maybe not even a communications business, because that's maybe where your core experience is. But as I was talking with Mike about this, he was saying we're not limited to that at all.
The skill sets, the kind of the various areas of sales and marketing and leadership and organization and technology scaling and support and investor relations and all kinds of things that we've done really is not just limited to one, very tight area that we operate in, or relationships that we had. And a lot of the people that we worked with for over 20 years have drifted in all different types of areas. And so we've been able to help our clients with introductions globally in all kinds of various areas. We obviously we have lots of service provider contacts, but as I said, a lot of those have drifted into all kinds of interesting spaces. And so, so it's not really, people say, oh, those are the Broadsoft guys. Realizes that we're really three business guys who kind of, as you said, have learned through the school of hard knocks we made some really good mistakes and how to avoid those, and also kind of bringing some insights into where the business is today, what customers are looking for, what investors are looking for. That's kind of what really kind of differentiates us.
You mentioned something, Mike. You told a story when we had you on the UC Buyer 3 weeks ago about how 9/11 was really a catalyst moment for Broadsoft that led to a lot of the technology that people are leveraging today. It's an inspirational lesson, I think, for businesses today, because everybody's going through varying degrees of challenges right now with COVID-19 crisis. What's your message to entrepreneurs and business owners struggling right now that you guys learned, going through prior crises like this? Any advice for entrepreneurs, business owners struggling right now?
I think it's important, like a lot of times when we get into these discussions inside companies, should we do this? Should we not do that? What are we doing? There's a lot of this good idea, bad idea construct. One of the things I like to always say is, yes, there's a good idea and there's a bad idea. There's also a good idea, bad timing, and good idea, bad execution. We honestly lived a few of those. We would try things really early on and they would fail. And the organization had a resistance to going back because they said, oh, we failed. And so, well, we failed because we poorly executed, or we failed because it wasn't the right timing. And I think that kind of thought process certainly is important right now, is that where everything is dislocated, everything is going to change. We don't even know what's going to change. So this idea of good idea, bad idea is really unclear. Things that were a bad idea in February may be great ideas today. It's really important to kind of think about what things are going to change, what things are going to get dislocated, which things do we know are going to change or stay the same, and what do we not know? What do we still have to explore and learn? Because none of us know, right? Topic we close to our hearts is, if you think about our knowledge worker industry today in the United States, we're 100% work at home. Okay, next September, what percentage is working at home? Is it back to where it was, or is it 5% higher? Is it 20? Well, those numbers have a huge factor in a lot of business plans and investment curves, et cetera. And so I think those are some of the things I like to think about is, okay, what is that? What do we know is going to change? Well, we know it's going to, it's safe to say in this particular example, work from home will be up. Okay. The question is, will it be up by 5 points, 10 points? Will it be up 30, 40 points? Who knows? Will it never go back, or will it return? So those are some important things I like our clients and any business people to think about.
When you go through periods like we're going through, at some level, job 1, 2, and 3 is survival, right? You got to get to the other side. And part of what we did, Mike referenced 08, 09, which was really tough for the company. And it's hard to imagine that Q3 of when Lehman went bankrupt we missed the quarter horribly. It's the only one I really remember that we missed. And a year later, I was leading an organization meeting for our IPOs. Part of what we did is we very disciplined on focusing on what our core was. There were no luxuries. And, and I think in this situation, again, focusing on core mission, simplifying the business, and making sure you have the wherewithal to get to the other side. And one of the things, and we brought it up earlier, but I think that helped us, we are a very external in company. We are very customer market oriented as opposed to internal out, which you see in a lot of companies. You certainly see in companies that get bigger. And I think that customer in perspective really helped us hone in on what that core was to get through to the other side.
Crisis times, you oftentimes just need to pull back and make sure you're focused and putting your energies in the right place. I look back on kind of the crises we went through, and I think to some extent you just have to kind of put your head down and get it done and just get through it, like Jim said. And